Okay, I put a longer bolt in there. So now when I slide up, I got plenty of room over here now. Way more than I really need. I'm giving up about an inch and a half of travel, which I think that's fine. I think that's fine. By the time if I put a live center in there, I'm really not giving up that much. And that would be the only time it would be if I'm running a center. That would be the only time I'd be losing this distance, because otherwise I could turn the carriage up far enough to the headstock that I'm not going to be losing anything. So that means we're back to installing the shield here. If I go like that, I can't hold it and hold the camera at the same time here. I'm going to put you on the tailstock if I can. Oop. All right. So if I go like that, I don't think that's gonna. I don't think that's gonna fly. Let me see. That'll work, but just barely. But if I go ahead and cut this flange off, and I might as well cut it all the way then, the whole flange. I could actually lower that down too, quite a bit. So I think what I'm going to do is clamp her up in the mill, cut that flange off, and cut this leg down. I can cut it down. Give me a scale here. I could cut it down, safely cut it down. About a 1/4 inch. So I can clamp her up and take a 1/4 inch off that. Shall we go do that in the mill? See if we can wreck it? Go see if we can wreck it. Man, I got tools laying everywhere. I gotta put some of this stuff away here. Put my taps away. Where's my? Looking for my big tripod that I usually attach this to. Oh, right here, for crying out loud. Sitting right here. All right, let's attach you. Attach you up here. Whoop, tipping you some more. There. Okay. Put some of the tools away first. First thing that I've got laying on my, got all these long drills. Aircraft extension drills. Dug out of the trash can. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. I think they were from a project that had died out there and they no longer needed them, so they threw them in the trash can. That's what they do. Instead of trying to sell tooling, they just throw it away. We don't need it anymore, we'll just throw it away. One of the things that really aggravated me out there, the wastefulness that they had. Instead of, they used to have 5S sales, which was great because that old tooling that they never used anymore, people like me that do home projects and stuff, hey, that was a resource that, you know, we didn't have to spend a bunch of money trying to buy new. Why buy new if we can buy used that works just as good? Yeah, well, they didn't take care of their employees very well. That's the problem. They could give a shit about their employees. You know, when I first started out there, they treated their employees like an asset. You know, that we were an asset to them, and we were. With our skill and everything, and our knowledge of everything that was going on out there. When I quit, they were treating their employees like liabilities. Hell of a difference. Yeah. And then I'm thinking about going back. I don't think so. All right, so I need to get a block or parallel in there. I think that's going to be good enough, right? Like that. Let me get a scale here. 2 scales laying over here. Just want to see if that's going to be enough. Okay, so it's planted like that. It'll be just barely enough. I might come right across on top of the. So what I need is a block to fit in there. 1, 2, 3 block, baby. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. And I want it raised up just probably the width of this parallel. Raise it up. Stick that in there. I'll put two of them in there to hold it snug. Okay, I can stick it out that way a little bit so that I can get as much of it that I can on the first cut. So now, come down a touch. Move it in. And go up 250. 1, 2, and 50. Okay? And what I want to do is I want to climb cut across there, pushing it that way. I don't want to pull it that way. So I want to get so that it's just cutting the rib itself. I'm hoping that'll work. It should. It is going to go above my 1, 2, 3 blocks, right? Yep. Okay, the biggest part of it. Right back down here. Slide her down. Right about there. Slide it up. Slide it down. acrylo staying underneath. Let's go a little more. I'm looking at finishing out on this end. I don't want it hanging out too far. Okay, crank off. I'll stop it. Gonna get loud again. Okay, it's shorter. It is now a 1/4 inch shorter. You burnt? Okay, back over to the lathe. Ooh. All right. Now, it's a 1/4 inch shorter. Now I can put that clip right here and hold it just like that. I'm in business. I got to cut around. Well, I was going to bend this down. Now I won't have to. Now I won't have to. The only thing I'm going to have to do is cut around this. Cut a notch around that for my oiler. And we should be good to go. And this will be 540 thousandths up. So that gives me, that'll give me 300 thousandths clearance. Great. That's great. Super duper. And what I'll do is silicone along here and put that up, and then silicone right along here, and then silicone run along this edge to seal it up so nothing can go in underneath and down. The only thing that'll go down on this, onto the readers from here. I should almost pull it out a ways though, because you notice that the reader head's right there, really not getting protected real well. Darn it, I wasn't thinking about that. I might rethink this and cut this side down and then leave a skirt hanging down to protect that. I don't know now if that's such a good deal. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mark it here what I'm going to cut. Maybe. If I can find a pen. I see a pen just laying there. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is cut it right here. Oops, probably not that far. And right there. Reason is it'll give that skirt, give a skirt to go down over top of that. And what I'll do is I'll just clamp it in the vise like that. Come in here, and I want to go right to there. And same thing here. And that'll get silicone down. You know, although I could take, you know what, a better plan is just to silicone a piece on here to go over top of that. You know, a little flap. A little flapper. I had a piece of tin, yeah, right here. Here's a piece of tin. Piece of metal. 60 thou metal. And go just like that. I could pop rivet it on there even if I wanted to, but I could silicone it on right like that. That protects the head then from getting anything. I could cut a little notch and it moves over there, right there. You know, that piece might just be volunteering to go right there. I think so. So anyway, I can't do much. I don't have any silicone, and I won't go to Menards or any store unless they have a senior hour. I'm still a little skeptical. So I know there's a lot of people out there that are not skeptical, but we're primary caretakers, so we got to be really careful. And so it'll be a couple days before I go in the morning and during their senior hour, and then I will get some. I'll get some 100% silicone. I'll finish the back, finish this. What's left to do? Oh, we can start mounting the control. That's the next thing. I'll find material. I'll find material to mount the control. What I'm thinking about doing is going into I'm going to open up the electric panel and see if there's anything up above here. I don't think there is. But before I do that, I'm going to pick up some tools and clean up. So I'll be back after that when I start on that. Okay, that's better. What I got going on here is I've got the shield on, and I put that on yesterday afternoon. Silicone has all set up fairly decent. It's still got spots where it's really thick silicone that it's going to take a while. But I got my oiler still peeking out here. The only thing I gave up is my cross-eyed lock. I can no longer use, but I never used it anyway, so it's no big deal. What else? If I have to, you know, I can always take that off. And oh, I put a screw in there for a cap screw in there so that the headstock or tailstock can't slam into that. All right, now let's go around to the back here. I'm going to go around the back and stand. I got the shield kind of in place. I can show you that. I cut a hole, but I cut it too big. So what I'll do is I'll put a piece of tin over it and put some sheet metal screws in it, hold it in place. And let's go around the back here. All right, so there's my scale mounted. It's mounted with silicone. This spot right here is, you can see it's soft yet because it's, and what I didn't want coolant or anything running down this and then running around. So this will stop it from doing that. I'll probably, when I do this end here, I'll do the same thing, put some silicone across so that if anything runs, it did down. The cables, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it out over here, and let's see. Yeah, I'm going to mount the cables over here, and I'm only going to leave enough here for it to reach up there, up to the headstock, and reach to the tail. I'm not going to have all this extra. I'll have it all. Let's see if I can hold it up. I'll put a mount. I'll put a mount right here somewhere, like that. So all this others will be zip tied up to the top. And when I got done siliconing everything, I went into the panel, and in the panel you can see there's, I'll get around there, just walk back to the back. I'll show you what I done. I drilled 2 holes up to the top here. There's nothing in the way, so I drilled 2 holes up there to mount my upright. Now I'm gonna have to figure out which 2 I can. There's no power to it, so I'm not in jeopardy or anything. The plug-in here that I got off to the side, I came in through the bottom here and hooked up down here, but that's on all the time. I want the readout to only come on when the lathe is under power, without the e-stop hit. You know, maybe I don't want to do that, because if I hit the e-stop, I could lose my setting. I might want to come in the same way I did with that, with the plug-in, come in over here, down here. In which case I don't have to figure it out. I'll just come right to the bottom again. I might do that. That way the cord will come out of it and go down the center of my tube that I got. I'll drill a hole right through. I got this silicone so that no coolant will. I'll have to re-silicone that. I never thought about running that cord down the middle of that until I had it all mounted yesterday. I am unhappy with one thing though, and that is the length of this bar. It should be half that length for a lathe. I don't like it sticking way out in the front. I want it back here, the readout I want back here. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to shorten it up so that it's real short and put it back on. So, and then plus they drill such a big hole and then give you a small screw. I put a 3/8 screw in it, but everything works. I think it's still plugged in. Let's see here, turn it on. Yep. I couldn't figure out how to get the radius and diameter set into parameters, and kind of bummed me out. But I can go from radius to diameter just by hitting the half. So if I have the half active like it is right now, and I zero this, and I move 200 thou on my crank here, which one crank is 200 thou. Yeah, I didn't look at it, but you'll see that it's 216. So everything seems to work fine. And when you hit that half, it doesn't half the Z movement. The Z movement, it stays the actual distance traveled. So that's a good thing. But if I turn this off, you'll see now it says 108, so it's reading radius. But so I'll just have to remember to leave that on with this little hash mark right there. Yeah, I went through the settings 2 or 3 times and could not get, every time I set it, it would come up with some number that made absolutely no sense. I switched to metric and imperial. It didn't work. It just plain didn't work. So anyway, I'm going to let silicone set up for a while yet. Probably put the cross slide on the compound cross slide on in tomorrow, and now along with the backing, I got the screws in the back, this backsplash, but they're not tightened up yet. So, well, I guess the only thing I'm going to do is take that off and cut it. So when I get ready to do that, I will set up here and show you what I got going on. So until then, catch you later. All right.